familiar with her company, Gift of Health. All right. She consults with healthcare companies and specialists. She's been doing a lot of work in the adult stem cells therapy. So she has quite a lot of experience, not only in her immediate circle, but she has seen the full circle of what good health is all about. And as you can see on the screen, targeting specific scientific approaches to good health and disease at a cellular level. And cellular level is very critical in this conversation and this topic this evening, because when we're talking about good health must start from the cellular level. And she has done many more work in clinical trials and pharmacogenetics and so on. I'll let her continue this conversation now. So without further ado, I want to welcome Denise on this evening's call. So Denise, I'm not sure if you're on the call right now. I'm not seeing you. Yes, I'm actually seeing you. Sorry about that. Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear, Larry.
Right. Well, the floor is all yours, Denise. Many of us have joined, looking forward to an extension of what you would have spoken about last week. But I think what you have to offer bears fruit because of your level of experience. So you're not just talking about things because you want to, but you firmly have a passion for it, right?
Yes, 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 Mr. Pereira. And seeing these things happening with people and the health and wellness industry, it's amazing to see how simple things can make someone's lives better, So thank you so much for your little um introduction there. And it's a wonderful evening here. Rain is falling, feeling very cozy this afternoon.
Yes, so we can be cozy up inside. So I leave it up to you now to share your screen. Go right ahead and share your screen, and we await with bated excitement as to what you will be sharing with us today. So the floor is all yours, Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Pereira. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day, everyone, wherever you are in whatever part of the world. I want to welcome you this afternoon on this call. I know many of you is anticipating, what's going on in the health and wellness industry and what is happening, you know, with this pandemic that we're having. It is more fear than fight going on. And I want to share something with you this afternoon. Last week was a great presentation there with where we was just sharing and introducing these wonderful things that is going to open up before you this afternoon. Now, I represent a company called Sankey International, and as you've seen on the screen, it's Vision 2020. Now we are in 2020, and a lot of things are unfolding before us, but we just don't have the sight to see. So this afternoon, I'm going to take you on a little journey. We're going to go through the universe, and we're going to go through the universe of mind, body, and spirit, and looking at oneself. All right. And my next slide here says, why Sankey, why now? Now, why Sankey? Why now? In these times, many people are looking for an opportunity, whether it is a financial opportunity or a health opportunity. And I believe right now, everybody needs to have their health in order, because we are seeing people, going around us, and we are wondering why, what is wrong, what's wrong with our system, our healthcare system, our wellness system, what is happening. So I'm going to explain to you why this is happening and what Sankey has allowed us to have a vehicle in the world through which you can live in health, empowerment, and wealth. Many people are going to be on the breadline after this pandemic is over. A lot has already been on the breadline already, and a lot of people are looking for opportunities. And this is a grand way in which the world is going now. Cashless society, and everything is happening right in your home, in your bed, in your bedroom. People are making money, everything is going digital, online. So why not? Let's have a look, let's take this journey now. Sankey Global represents two words: san, which is Japanese for respect, and ki, spiritual energy. Now, many of us are looking for something that is a respectful and also giving us that spiritual energy and vibrant that we can move forward in life. So basically, what the company is telling us, it's a company of honor and respect to the highest, as well as vital energy generating a life force and strength of the spirit. You know, many of us are willing, but the spirit is weak. So let me show you how we can start this journey with, with this opportunity that I'm about to share before you. A little bit of our background and history of our company. The founders are Gert Muller, Alejandro Lopez Tello, and NC Muller. And we have Dr. Idias, Behut Idias, which is the Sankey Meyer Scientific Director. I love this gentleman. This doctor speaks my language, people. He really speaks my language. We also have our International Sales and Marketing Officer, Dr. Helen Delahose. Her whole accolades goes before this woman. She's a global servant, of MLM Mughal, created over 35 families, becoming first millionaires. People, let me say something to you. Many of you who know me on this call know that I'm not of hype. And I want to let you know that when you're getting involved with something or someone or a company, you look at the longevity of that company. You look at the people behind that company, their integrity. And I have met these persons personally, and I could tell you she's a wonderful person, not only beautiful on the outside, but inside out. And she's a visionary of a nonprofit organization called Not Our Girls. It's an intuitive and empowerment company for breast cancer awareness. She has gone to the grave and back, fight the battle of cancer and a whole heap of things that went on with this woman, a beautiful woman. The Jose, Mr. Arvide, he's our director and partner of Sankey USA, and he's also an international trainer and coach. He's also a motivational speaker, had conferences appearances in Europe, Mexico, and America. And since in his teens, he has been the owner of more than 11 successful companies. And he has led every business that he has got himself on to success. Success is his passion. What is your passion this evening? Health, success, wealth. What is your passion? And I want you to think of those, or think of what is really your passion this afternoon. Just to sit down and be, oh, me, poor little one, or me, get outside there and have something done for society and even for yourself and family. We also have a leading over 300 years of leadership in this industry, and that's where we are heading, and that's where we have been, and we are going. Our national sales director, Ms. Fabiola Hernandez, and Mr. Corey Williams. Wonderful, beautiful people in this business. You can call on them anytime to answer questions, to just be there with you, to walk you through, to help you. And that is what we have, not somebody that you have to sit down and figure out, I wonder what he looks like behind that phone. I wonder if he's going to call. These people it's like they are at our beck and call, because they are there always to answer that call when you call on them, and all the leaders in the Caribbean. Sankey Meyer. I want to tell you a little bit about Sankey Meyer. This is our In Vivo Innovations Limited, where they do all their studies, all their backings are done through Sankey Meyer with our own scientist, Dr. Idias. And there's where we run all our information, our product line through this. And their vision and our vision we have is 100-year legacy in mind. It's not only for today, yesterday, and tomorrow. It's going into the future. And we are seeing a lot of things happening futuristically. This Sankey Meyer actually has the advanced sciences in nutrigenomics and biotechnology, simply meaning that they study and analyze food, the environment, how we rest, our lifestyles, how certain foods, conditions, remedies, work even at our genetic level. And they found the longevity in the centenarians in the digestive system. When they studied these people that live over 100 years, these Asian people, they found that the secret was in their gut. Why? And I will tell you why. We live in a world that is bombarded by a lot of things, pollutants, you know, A lot of things are happening mentally. We are being, bombarding by news. This whole pandemic thing. Just think about this for a moment. How it has affected society mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, right? And this is what is happening. We are bombarding, and in turn, if our body is not able to rejuvenate and heal itself, or even you have the strength, the mindset to overcome some of these, sometimes these news are false, and I will tell you why, and I'll show you what is happening. We are always, we are more persons, we move by fear, but we don't fight. And this is what is happening to our bodies. So when we are bombarded by these sun rays, stress, pesticides, all these pollutants in the air, it brings about something called oxidative stress in our bodies. And that in turn starts to affect our metabolic system, because we're eating high consumptions of sugars, carbohydrates, saturated fats. We're living a sedentary lifestyle. I am seeing a lot of things are changing, that is happening now. People are, I guess, have more money in their household now, because you're not going to eat outside. You can't move. We're under curfew. So something good is coming out of this, people. I am telling you. And when we bombarded by all of these things, guess what's happening? Hormonal imbalances, our digestive systems goes out of whack, because we are eating processed foods that are low in minerals, and such minerals as magnesium. And I'll tell you why magnesium is so important as we continue in our conversation. And then it's causing an imbalance in our intestinal flora. So when all these things are bombarded in our system, it brings about stress, and then we get nutritional deficiency. All right. Now, we are made up of over 37 trillion cells. And these little cells, right, inside, as that slide is up there, you've seen something called the mitochondria. In every cell, the mitochondria, there are over 120,000 of these little cells. And you know what those little cells are? Our life force. They are our cells that dictate what goes on within our body. And every day we need 43 essential nutrients for wellness. To name a few, like cysteine, lysine, vitamin K, niacin, you name it. The body needs these amount of minerals and nutrients in our body to keep it going. 70% we need in our body, and 30% goes to our brain. So if we just barely get in about 20%, guess what happens? We are going to become ill, we are going to become sick, and then our body will start to degenerate. So when this little life force gets degenerated, guess what happens? Disease will step in. And oxidative stress is really what happens to our body when we are bombarded by free radicals in our system. So we need to start to get the life force back into our cells, which is our intelligent force that we call the homeostasis. And homeostasis simply means that it refers to a capacity where a body can regulate itself, and it cannot develop degenerative diseases. It simply means that it's a maintenance of a stable internal environment, so that the organism or your biological system must maintain to allow proper functioning of its component cells, tissues, organs, and its organs system. So if this is not functioning on our own, we can't get anywhere with our body. It's just like if you have a vehicle, you don't change the oil and water. Gets what happens? The oil runs low, you start your car, you reach a few miles, and mash up your whole engine. So if you're not feeding your cells, and your body system's going to out of whack, guess what happens? We have all these diseases start to take place within our system, right? So in the absence of this wellness, we have disease, which will impair our bodily function. All right. So what Sankey Mayer Laboratories has developed ingredients so that we can regenerate and put in back the vital metabolites to achieve this homeostasis and restore our intelligence strength. So today I am introducing you to the product line that we have, that a lot of people know. I am very thankful, because in my field, many of you know me, that I always strive for good products, and I always, do research, due diligence research on cellular health. Because if it cannot get into your cells, well, then your body cannot respond to inflammation for healing. When too much inflammation is there in the body, it causes degeneration within a system. And if it is not getting where the nutrition needs to be held, we have a problem, because you might taking the best of everything, all the trace minerals that you can get, eat, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, phosphorus, you name it, potassium. And if it's not getting to that level, it's just not hitting and bumping back against that shield of toxicity and oxidation. So, so what Sankey has done, they have studied these cells and how the body fit and need to become homeostasis, and came about with some of these formulation and product line that starts this work within our system. So as you have been probably reading on the slide, the products are there to reverse, recover, and restore. Now, people, I must say to you that you might think that, okay, another thing here, another product, oh boy, is a marketing thing, it is a this, is a that. But the testimonials that come behind this, I am blown away, because as a blood analyst, I test blood all the time, and I see the dirtiness in a blood terrain, the disease, how the immune system is degenerating, and all these white blood cells are fighting to get to wellness state, and people don't realize what is going on with their bodies. And when you tell them, it's like, how the saying goes in Trinidad is like pouring water on duck back. It just rolling off until they get a disease, and then they want you to perform a healing in 24 hours, which it took years for them to get at. So what our sake does, balances our intestinal flora and generates new nutrients. As I said before, the secret is in the gut. There is something called the microbiome within the gut. If you don't take care of it, it is going to cause a lot of disruption, because you always have to have 60-40% of good bacteria, bad bacteria. And these little organisms actually helps and fight to keep the body alive. Many a times you hear say, oh, we have to bring the pH back to balance in the body, detox and so forth. But not only detoxing, you have to create the environment and a healthy environment in the gut so that it can do the digestion and absorption. I always tell people, if there's one disease, there's one cure. And it starts within the gut, because if your gut is toxic and it's unhealthy, when you do digestion, it goes through the gut to be absorbed back into the body. So guess what you're getting? Toxicity and acidity back into your system, and you're wondering why you're still chronic. Now, a lot of people, I mean, I've spoken to a few friends today, and by extension during the weekend, they're telling me for years they go into the doctor, and the doctor say inflammation, this have the swellings, this, you're dizzy, that, everything is happening to you. And the blood test comes out, oh, you good, the blood test reading all right, and they send you home. People, wake up, wake up. I think something is wrong here. So our Hasaki now nourishes the microbiota with over 596 metabolites, which helps to improve digestion and also protein absorption by 20%. Now, proteins can work against you, and it can also work for you. So if your body is not digesting with the proper amino acids and enzymes due to the proper working of the liver, pancreas and gallbladder, we're going to have some issues. So what it is doing, it is increasing the oxidation of fat, and it's providing the energy to trillions of your mitochondria. So it is passing that barrier, and it is actually entering at a cellular level through nanotechnology, because in finite amounts it can be able to pass and absorb through the body. Our belage, which is our excuse me, our belage, which is our flagship product. Boy, I am blown away with this belage. If I could meet everybody and just try to force it down their throat, that's how passionate I am with this product, because I am seeing the regenerating in people who have not walked for 15 years, started walking in a week, limbs starting becoming strengthened, muscles regenerating, lupus, different things. People, the testimonies is amazing outside there because it's allowing our body to reactivate our antioxidants that get dormant. It increases the energy production. Remember, I talk about the minerals. It's actually enabling the minerals to activate, to have your magnesium. Magnesium is important. People, magnesium do not stay in your body over 4 hours. So magnesium is very important for skin growth, for longevity, for looking younger, all these things, you know. And so it is increasing the energy production in your body naturally, and it also improves blood circulation. So when we have thrombosis of the blood and veins, you know, starting to become sticky blood, lipids too fat into the system, cholesterol, LDLs, you know, LDLs is more worse than cholesterols in the body because it thickens the blood, and the blood now cannot pass through veins, and arteries get degenerated. They you know, they call it thrombosis of the veins. So all these, it actually starts to strengthen and hydrate the body at a cellular level. So it not only detoxifies the body, but it also improves the energy in the body. The inner seven, hormonal system and improved digestion. It balances the hormonal system. A lot of our young ladies out there, and even our men too, we having issues. You know, their thyroids, you know, are going out of whack. Their adrenals, they, you know, they under stress. And you know now what is happening. Further, we can explain that later on if we have the time, is that our men are more susceptible to this COVID than our ladies, because our ladies are made with a certain DNA structure that our body is made to handle stress and to handle certain things, because we are made to bear children. So when we look at these things from an inside out, we can understand the reason why, you know. So we have to help and build you up. Improves natural defense mechanism, balances your pH. It also stimulates relaxation and revitalization, improves in digestion, right? Yeah, I cannot you know, um you know, stay quiet on digestion, because that's where the main issue lies. If your body cannot digest, you end up having colon issues, you know, colitis, all these kinds of things that happen within a system. You know, your body cannot absorb it, gassy, different things goes on, then it affects the stomach, you know, and all of these things. So it recovers your body's essential minerals as well. And what minerals does? We need the minerals in our body to cell regenerate and rejuvenate. Even when your body is working on all four, firing on all cylinders, you actually have a healthy mind. The mind don't be foggy. You know, your cells don't get damaged or death due to early exposure of diseases and inflammation in a system, in your system. So when these things are functioning, everything in your body starts to become balanced. Neurological, your circulatory, your pulmonary, respiratory, affecting your whole body. It's going to reverse, recover, and restore. At least help the body to heal and start to become homeostasis. Our Chronuate Fire, which is a wonderful product as well, it protects us from the bad habits of modern lifestyle. You know, we like to eat junk food, as we would say it. I mean, I'm being real to you people. We like to eat junk food. Thank God, with the curfew we have in for the next 2 weeks, many people will can eat KFC and can eat certain things. Not that I'm beating on KFC, but you know, the fattiness, saturated fats, and all these high carbs, you know. So it helps to reduce the absorption of calories and sugars in your body, because most times you eat and the body is not digesting, producing the amino acids and enzymes to break down these foods. Your pancreas become, you know, insulin resistant, because the pancreas, you know, is stagnated and has these blockages with the good fats you're eating, but sometimes it starts to line up in the chart, and you can't have free flow of these enzymes. So gastric protection and antioxidation, destruction of your cells, increases thermogenesis to remove fatty tissue. So as you sleep and as you work out, it burns and builds back energy within the system. All right. So it's like a night reset with your system. Now, I'm going to stay a little bit on the Belage because before I move further, I'm going to, talk to you a little bit about the Belage because a lot of you might have questions at the end whether whatever chronic inflammation you have, whatever pandemic there is, whatever is going on, we can see that the company has micro scanner, which they came out with, which many of you would see when you do a blood test, how the blood looks before and after when taking certain supplements. But the micro scanner is like that. It shows you how the vessel looked before, and when you drink the Belage, how it looks after, about 15 minutes after. So you can see the change within the bloodstream. And what that tells us, people, chelation straight into the bloodstream. It means that the nutrients and the minerals in the nutrition is passing that barrier and getting straight into your blood. People, we don't eat for our bodies, we eat for our blood. Is our blood cells have this certain intelligence in them, which is the mitochondria that says friend or foe when anything goes in into that body. And what you're putting into your body is what you get. So the kind of foods that you eat, you actually look like it after. All right. And you can understand why. I mean, I don't need to get into details with that. So once we put healthy things into our bodies, we get healthy out of it. Now, I have this slide up. Many of you, well, because of my background in cellular, um, in the cells and so forth, and how the immune system works. I just put this up from Dr. Edie as he was talking about how the Belage promotes the healthy immune system in our body and how it functions. Now, a lot of you, might have a little background and understanding, may have some doctors on the call tonight. Hi, hello to Clive, to Master Clive. I just say a special hi to you this afternoon because I know a lot of things are happening and you're in training, but you took the time out. So I must openly thank you for being on the call. What the Belage does during infections or any influenza, our bodies let out natural killer cells, right? It's activated. So our system now, these immune cells now detect these infected cells and they try to build antibodies against them. So because of the formulation of the Belage, it actually promotes these nuke cells to get into these target cells, and because of proteins. Now, you may not understand much of what I'm saying, but just to get a little idea, your body produces protein cells, which helps in the rejuvenation, regeneration of things to fight against backing. It's a protein that is built. So in other words, good cells will attack viral cells to get rid of them or have them implode. So that is what it starts to do to help the body build the immune cells. Is going to have a fighting chance than a degenerative chance in understanding how to fight these proteins that will come up against us. All right. And if many of you have been following John Hopkins flyers that they have been sending out, which I've been studying and part of the team of the virologists, and so they are saying that the virus is not, if we're talking about the pandemic that is happening, and any virus that is outside here is not a living organism, it's rather a protein molecule with all the RNAs and all the things that goes with that. But what happens? They are covered in a layer of lipid, which is fat, which is leucine, right? And when it absorbs by the cells are able now, they latch on to the ocular, nasal, or the buccal mucosa into the lungs, the nasal cavity. That's why they're saying when it enters through the air, eye, nose, and mouth, right? So we have protection, we have to be protected. So it latches on there, and then when that starts to happen, it starts to change the genetic code. Now, many people are kind of in a laissez-faire attitude right now and running around and thinking that everything is in order. But this thing is very, very, how should I put it? Stealth. These organisms, they are changing, they are mutating. So that is why it's hard to lock down what is happening. But if you can understand how the body works, you have a better fighting chance together with certain types of supplements that is going to help you. A lot of people say, oh gosh, we use the lemon and water. People, this is more than lemon and water, washing your hands, soap, and everything. Don't be bombarded. Be informed. Get the right information. of how these things work, and you have a fighting chance to save your loved ones. All right. So you might see a little slide up here showing you all the different things. Protease is an amino enzymes, amino acid that helps in terms to inhibit certain things within our body, especially viral in origin. So we have to understand the machinery and how the body works. All right. So once we can understand that, as I said before, you have a fighting chance. So the benefits of the complete system is to improve our brain function, maintain intestinal health, reduce oxidative stress, improve microcirculation. People, we do not get nutrients at a micro level in our bodies, and this is where cellular come in. I might be, my brain is going faster than my mouth right now because there are so many things I'm excited about. Once you understand nutrition at a cellular level, people, you talk in my language. And a lot of people, we have to kind of take an anvil and hammer it in the head to understand how the body works and function, right? It balances your hormones, because once these things start to work in unison with each other, the mind will start to do what is required with the adrenal glands, the oxidative stress. The body is going to clean itself. The endocrine system is going to start working and functioning as it should. Your circadian rhythm is going to start resetting itself. And this is what we need. I always pray and thank the Lord when products come out, because I go into it at a cellular level. And that is where I'm at, because that is what the body needs at a cellular level. And I could hug and shake Mr. Edia's hand, because I was trained by a scientist who actually trained me in looking at blood and what we look at. His name is Dr. Michael Grant. And I am thankful that once I can give this information to you, you people have a fighting chance. It activates, all these products will do this, activates your thermogenesis, repair cell damage. It's also you know, anti-glycemic activity, because we are bombarded by too much, we too sweet. I don't know if any part of the world, but we Trini sweet, we like sweet, so it's going to help regulate. And that is what you want to do, regulate the system. Our system is crying out to be healthy. And maybe this is a sign that it's rebelling, because people need to do what is right. And what is right? You would know within yourself how you feel. So you would know if you put something in your mouth, if it's friend or foe, if the body, refuses it, or if you feel, healthy with it. So what this does, it actually, Sankey products, as you see on this slide here, it reverse recovers the effectiveness of the Sankey Tendi Intelligent Nutrition has been proven by the in vivo clinical trials. So it's not to say that the company just come out of this like 10 years ago. They have been studying it over time and centuries to get where they need to be and to have this out to us, the people, right? It reverse, recovers, and restore. So we have the Orizod enzymes, which helps to activate the enzymes in our bodies at 100% times more, so that you get the benefit of it. The Oxylar Night Reset, which is in our the oh, sorry, there, I just it just went out my mind. The reset, which is the chronuate, and which actually works the enzymes in our body to help fight and back against the diseases that come into our system, so we can digest and have the metabolic pathways moving, and has the body rhythm working once more within our system, right, in the inner seven. And as we move forward, we have hundreds of doctors who had endorsed these, but just to have a few, because a lot of our products, people, if you don't know, it is being shipped more to Europe and to these countries who are having these COVID, more outbreaks, because the doctors are helping them. So it's not just as we, people on this side of the world like to say, is a herb. People respect the product. It's not a herb. It's not a Denise talking about herbs which you go and pick in your backyard and boil in a cup and drink. This is nutraceuticals. This is medically graded, endorsed by doctors, and they are using it. But our people on this side of the world, and I have to blaze you up sometimes because I don't think we are getting it where we need to get it. They are using it and it is helping because this is what the body needs. And Dr. Jesus said he wants to understand people that whatever you get this afternoon, no one is responsible for your health. No one is responsible for how well and how healthy your gut is. So we there's a side to this, that there is a financial side to this which I would not go into at this point, but if you guys are interested, you can message me and let me know, and we can discuss that at a further time. But I want to just discuss the importance of the products so that you can start be using it, and making your family and the people that your loved ones live better, because we are all hurting at this point. And I think we have something, it's not I think, we have something in our hands that is going to make the difference in our lives. So we start, there are products that start at 2.99, go right up to 10.99. You get the whole range of the product, and that is so we can discuss that after and how you can get them. And also they have bought out for the Caribbean people a special right now, and I think right around around the globe they have bought out the 99 package, where you get the Cronuit and the Belage, our our boat, the boat, our flagship product, and the Cronuit is a great combination, people. As I said, persons will come on here and will talk a little bit about, a little to give it a little testimonies and so forth, and even talk about the product and what we have been seeing and happening around. So at this point, I want to thank you all, and before I go and put you back on to Mr. Pereira, wonderful host for this afternoon, let's understand, people, that whatever you get this afternoon, no one is responsible for your health. No one. We did not get here like yesterday. It took years of poor lifestyle, the environment. Everybody have cancer cells. When you study cells on the whole, everybody have degenerative cells. But it takes an environment. It takes a way in which, in what happens into your environment to produce these genetic disturbances in the body. Because as I say, it is only 3% genetic and 97% nutrition. So we have to be responsible for our health and our wellness, because I guess many of you are just tired of being tired of being tired and being tired of sick. You go to our doctors. I mean, I'm clinical. I can tell you, I could recommend a Panadol, but a Panadol is not generic. It's generic medicine, but it may not work on everybody, right? You might have a resistance to it. Simple as a Panadol. You can have an allergic reaction. So not everything works for everybody, but we must understand one fundamental, that if the mitochondria is out of whack, then the whole body gets out of whack. So we need to put back health and wellness into our being, and divine intervention as well, because many of you go kneel down and pray to get something to help you, and when it comes into your hand, you're still praying about it. Sometimes I wonder. But we got to be responsible, right? Your health is your wealth. And let us get that into our system, because without your health, you cannot be wealthy, because you cannot go work. And without the wealth, you cannot even buy things to become healthy, or to things that you need for your life. So let's continue to save lives. And as we continue to save lives, we have to understand, as Pauline said, in our time, and two-time Nobel Prize winner, he said, nearly all disease can be traced to a nutritional deficiency. So if you don't give the body what it needs, it's not going to respond, and it's not going to recover to its wellness stage. All right. And on this note, I would leave and back over to you, Mr. Pereira. Thank you very much for your
All right, thank you, Denise. All part of the learning process. Sometimes we have to go through the Zoom growing pains at times. So thank you so much for being on this call. I just want to take maybe two persons to really give their personal testimony in terms of what this product has been doing. But here's what I will say personally, because I am nowhere endowed clinically in terms of that. I would consider myself just a lay person. But here's what I would say, guys, that makes a whole lot of sense. The world is evolving day by day. I mean, we've always been hearing me even say this in um, terms of gold and silver and finance and all of these different things. But it makes sense for health as well, because health and wealth go hand in hand. There will be no point if you had all the gold in the world, or all the silver, or all the other components of finance, and no good health. So at the end of the day, just as much as the economies of the world are changing and evolving, we also have to adapt to the times and find products as we go along that are going to work on a cellular level. At least I know for a fact that you can take all the vitamins in the world, take all the supplementation, but if it's not being absorbed into your body, and in fact, today actually I was talking with a colleague of mine, and he was actually on spot, on point, talking about the microbiome. If your digestive system does not break down the respective nutritional components of the food as well as the supplementation, well, then it makes no sense. You're just taking expensive vitamins, as a good scientist rightfully say. I just want to bring up maybe two persons in the interest of time. It's about 11 minutes to the hour. I want to bring up Mr. Campbell from Jamaica, who has been very instrumental over the years, not just with Sankey, but he has been, a major believer of good health because he himself has had some challenges in his own personal space. Mr. Clive Campbell, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, King Larry Pereira.
How are you, sir?
I am good and improving, sir.
Wonderful. I mean, we were having this discussion here. A lot of information has been shared. Tell us something, first of all, about what got you started in this whole health regime. Why is health so important to you, first of all, before you go into your testimony?
Okay, because diabetes is killing my family. Both my moms have died from diabetes. The mom that gave me birth and the one that grew me from I was 2 years old. I saw both of them lost their health, eventually lost a toe, then another toe, lost a leg, and then another leg, and then a massive heart attack took them out. Complications of diabetes. My two sons were diabetics before they were 10 years old, and my sons are now 30 and 32 years old. I have been a diabetic for 20 years now, and diabetes has killed my aunts, my uncles, my nieces and nephews, etc. So when I heard of a company that makes a product that targets the human cell, and with a product, for example, like Fire, that helps diabetics so much in terms of helping to regulate the amount of sugar that is absorbed from your meal into your blood and prevent it from spiking, but release them in waves. When it has anti-glycemic activity, that's what they're speaking about. And when it causes you to sleep, because without sleep, your body cannot repair. So here's this one product, Fire, that tastes good, smells good, and is good for you. Then I had a particular interest in what that product does. Then the Belage. When you take Belage, you feel large and in charge because it does things in your body that only a product 50 years ahead of its time could do. And when it speaks to mitochondrial health, if you allow me to say, in the current medical science, is saying the health of your mitochondria is the health of you. It is the new biomarker which will determine how long you're going to live and how healthy you're going to live. It's a new holy grail in science. When a company makes a product that's ahead of the current medical system that targets your mitochondria and restore and resuscitate, rejuvenate and revive and rebuild your mitochondria, can you imagine what that is doing for you? But I don't want to do another presentation, but just to tell you that I'm very excited that these products are doing things in your body that an entire health food store struggles to find nutritional supplements to do what these four fantastic products do. So I'm very happy for these products. So I'm involved in it because of my health, my family health. I'm involved with it because of the science and because of the commitment that this company shows. When a company takes 50 years to research and develop and refine their products, and to tell us that they plan to be around for 100 years and to touch 1 billion lives, you want to align yourself with such a company, my friend. So I sorry that I've taken so much time, but just to give you an idea what excites us about this Sankey Global.
Not at all, Clive. I'm very much happy to know that you would have involved yourself and your family for many years. You've been challenged in your health, and I didn't recognize that your entire family,
Mm,
was in fact, inflicted, after use the word inflicted, by
hmm.
diabetes.
Yes.
So that could be something very, debilitating.
But then again, Sir Larry, I'm realizing from research that it's not only a Jamaica problem and a Caribbean problem, but I'm speaking to friends in Africa.
Hmm.
They're having similar issues and challenges too. And just to say that our food manufacturers are putting so much sugar in
Yes,
our meals that the human body is now being bombarded with 10 times the amount of sugar than the body can deal with on a daily basis.
it's
It's
very
crazy.
interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting, Clive, that you mention sugar, because sugar really is the new age cocaine.
Mm,
And it has a higher level. In fact, many scientists and researchers these days are found are saying that more people are addicted to sugar than even cocaine. So it's the new cocaine,
that's right, sir.
because everybody from all ages are addicted. The minute a child can actually swallow something other than milk,
Mm-mm.
it's on something sweet.
Sugar is the most addictive, toxic substance known to man. It is described as an anti-nutrient.
Wow.
It does not provide a nutrient for the body, and the little nutrients the body has, it has to go now and disarm and dissolve the damage that sugar is causing to the body. That's the bitter truth.
And I think that is the greatest demise of our
Mm,
society in terms of all these lifestyle diseases that we seem to be afflicted by these days.
including high fructose corn syrup, sir.
Yes, that's
That,
in some of the major
mm,
manufacturers, and I think now that we're getting so sophisticated that they're actually changing the labels, because most manufacturers now do not have to actually put exactly what they manufacture on their labels. And that's something that we need to understand and be aware that when you think you're buying something that's healthy, there may be question marks attached to it.
there are actually 56 different names for sugar, sir. And they will
There you
change
go.
the, yeah, so when they look at it, unless you're a scientist like Dr. Denise, you hardly can recognize that these things are saying that they're sugar.
Yes, and as a result of that, we really do need products now that can safeguard ourselves.
Hmm.
And I tell people, having these products doesn't give you the excuse to go and literally eat a ton of sugar now. But these products work in unison with, with constructive eating habits and diet and so on. Because what we are not getting, at least these products can help to navigate ourselves through this confusing maze that we seem to find ourselves.
Yes, sir, indeed. So we have to participate in our own rescue. We are swimming in shark-infested waters, and we are digging our grave with our own teeth.
Hmm,
Here in
powerful.
Jamaica, our grandmother would say, "Was sweet nanny goat, I go run them belly." It's sweet to the tongue, but it's going to be bitter to the body. So that it will show up. And Les Brown says, when it comes to your health, you can pay now or pay double later.
Indeed, and in Trinidad we have a say, they say, what's sweet in goat mouth, the sour and the bam bam.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Yes, yes. So, guys, I thought it was important for us to have Mr. Clive Campbell, years of experience. He's actually on many of the radio shows in Jamaica. Of course, he's taking a holiday now because of the COVID, but he's prepping for the new season.
Yeah. As,
So,
as, a, as a matter of fact, so Larry, I was on the radio just this past Thursday because, in the Orient, they tell us that in a time like this, when we see disaster and things like that, it also means that there is opportunity.
without
So,
a doubt, without a doubt,
yeah,
because
so when you can find occasion
mhm,
to be relevant in a season such as this, here is a time when people become millionaires. While
yes.
everybody else is hiding and dodging and fearful, how if you allow God to give you the grace and the protection so that you can offer a product and offer hope so that people beat a path to your door, sir?
Well, I don't think people really understand the science of wealth and prosperity. And I would love to use the terminology, if you'd permit me, just for 2 more minutes of your time, that if you have to build muscle, you have to lift things that are a little more heavier than what your muscles can actually carry. So
Mhm.
through the law of what is termed the law of resistance, we actually grow muscle. So, based on that same law, it is nothing surprising that we have to sometimes recognize that the greatest of opportunities will come when it is perceived to be the darkest moments of humanity.
Mm. Well said, sir.
Yes, so thank you so much, Mr. Clive Campbell. I am happy that you're on these calls. Looking forward to do many, many more and to have maybe some more internal conversations with you. I think the next time we should probably do a trio combination,
Okay.
a triad, as they say.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much for being on the call, Clive, and looking forward for us. This call is recorded. We will be posting this thing out probably by the next hour. The link will be made available so you can actually catch up some of the things that you may have lost and
Mhm.
tune in as we continue along this line to educate, inspire, and to help people regenerate their bodies. Your final closing comments, Sir Campbell?
I would all say to all of us, aspire to inspire before you expire.
Ah, boy, no man, you could never. You should say that again for us to write it down. Say that again for people to get it.
Okay, sir. Aspire to inspire before you expire.
Ah, you hear that? Aspire to inspire before you expire. Oh, guys. So I hope that you're gonna not expire soon, so we could be on these calls. All right. So thank you so much,
Bless
and you
you.
have you guys a blessed evening. I know we are on lockdown these days, but that does not prevent us from learning, earning, growing, and soaring to higher heights. Thank you so much, Clive, and by extension, all of us who were on these calls
You're
last week
welcome,
and this
Larry.
week.
Bless you. Yes,
All right,
thanks.
guys. So this is it. We want to just lock off. It's just about 5 o'clock right now, just about an hour time since we've been on these calls. Look out for more information coming because you need to be inspired so you can soar. All right. So have yourself a great evening. This call is a wrap.